What's up, guys? It's Coach Ronnie. We're here with another Q&A answering your questions to be the best baseball player on the field. So today's question is submitted by Moises, and his question is, what workouts can I do while I'm still in my baseball season, like weights and getting faster? Okay, so let's get into the answer. Now, in-season strength and conditioning is going to be a secondary factor to your ability to practice and recover. So in season is not the best time for you to be adding muscle or strength, because in order to do that, we're going to have to deal with the fact that the body is going to go it's going to have to deal with soreness. Okay, and obviously think about playing baseball, being sore. You're not going to be at the best of your ability, so we can't necessarily be doing both at the same time. What we want to do in the in-season, okay? What we want to do in season is maintain as much of our strength as possible, okay? That is the goal and the role of strength training when you're playing competitively and you're playing games that matter. Your goal is to maintain as much muscle mass and strength as possible. So how are we going to do that? Well, it all depends on what level you're at. At a high school level, you're not necessarily playing as many games as a collegiate athlete. So as a high school athlete, you have a little more wiggle room as far as adding a workout and having a little bit of runway as far as recovering from a harder workout. So what I think you should be doing is, at this point, making sure that you're getting at least 2 strength training sessions during the week when you're in season, okay? 2, I would say, is the minimum for you to be able to maintain the strength levels that you have going into season. The better you're able to maintain your strength, the more you're going to have to go off when season is over and you enter your off-season training, okay? Off-season is the time for you to build your strength, put on some muscle size and overall weight. And so the better we do during in-season strength training as far as maintaining your strength, the more we're going to have going into that off-season program, the less we're going to have to rebuild, okay? So again, 2 sessions at a minimum per week. I am going to recommend that you give yourself at least 72 hours between workouts. Ideally, we're looking at a Monday and Thursday split. So you're working hard on Monday in the weight room and also Thursday. I know Thursday could be running into maybe Friday games. And so if that is an issue and a concern, then maybe we go Monday, Wednesday, okay? So that gives us at least 48 hours. Because we're only gonna have 2 sessions a week, we're gonna make sure that we're hitting both upper and lower body each session, okay? So we're gonna get our lower body 2 days of training, Monday, and that second workout, so Wednesday or Thursday. And then the upper body is also gonna get 2 exposures to training, all right? So it's not just lower body once a week and upper body once a week. We're gonna get both upper and lower, some training. What I recommend as far as a structure for a workout looks something like this. Now, this is just me sharing some ideas and thoughts. If you have any further questions on that, you can look into our online program to get the program all done for you. I think you can at least have an idea of what we're thinking about here. So when it comes to starting your first workout in season, we're going to think about doing a lower body compound exercise. So something like a squat or a deadlift. The first session here, we can do a squat, and the reps are going to be relatively low. So we're thinking from 2 to 5 reps. Going any higher than that as far as reps could potentially lead to some soreness. And if you have practices or any scrimmages or games, and like I said, a sore athlete is not the best athlete on the field. We're going to pair that up, so we're going to superset it with a press. So whether it's a dumbbell press, an overhead dumbbell press, an incline press, something along those lines where we're keeping the upper body strong. We can use barbells or dumbbells or kettlebells, but I think in season, I think a dumbbell is a great exercise, a great implement, a great tool to use to make sure that we are we're keeping balance between your left and right arms and not necessarily putting ourselves at risk of severe soreness. So squatting and pressing, I think that's a nice little superset for your first workout. From there, in that same workout, I think you could add a lunge. So dumbbell lunges, dumbbell lateral lunges, and then pair that up with a row. So like a single dumbbell row, a double dumbbell row, an inverted row, or a renegade row. Okay, so we're gonna pair it up with a row, and then the third we'll say superset in that first workout would be a quick tricep exercise. So like using a band, a tricep extension, a dumbbell tricep extension, a skull crusher, and then pair that up with a core exercise. So something like a mountain climber or a shoulder tap or a plank, a weighted plank, something like that, just so our core gets a little bit of work and focus. So going back to the lunges in the row, I just want to give you some rep schemes here. So something like 3 rounds of 7 to 10 reps. Now, 7 to 10 reps is in that rep range that could lead to soreness if we do it to the heaviest weight we can accomplish those reps at. But I'm going to recommend you doing that rep count, but not necessarily with the absolute heaviest weight where you're basically at the edge of failure at the end of each set. We're doing this with the ability to repeat it and feeling like we are strong at the end of every set. Okay, again, the goal here is not to build strength, but to maintain it. So moving on to day 2, this is where we can pair up something like a deadlift and a pull. So in this case, I'm thinking, and the rep schemes are going to be the same to the first workout of the week. What I'm thinking here is doing a deadlift, traditional deadlift, conventional deadlift, feet directly underneath your hips, hands slightly outside your shins, and then a pull-up, some type of pull-up, whether it's a double overhand or maybe like a chin-up. Any of those variations would work. You want to make sure you kind of mix it up week to week as far as the pull-up, but the deadlifts can stay consistent. We don't need to vary those too much in season. Again, the rep schemes are the same. We're then going to go on to the second, we'll say superset, which is a step up. And that could be a dumbbell step up. We're basically have a pair of dumbbells in each hand, and then we're stepping up to a box, something that allows us to have our hips in line or hips above the knee when our foot is on that box or bench, and then a press. So going back to maybe a single dumbbell overhead press, single dumbbell bench press, maybe some push-ups, something like that, just to give our upper body a little bit of stimulus and make sure that we don't lose too much upper body strength there. And then from there we can finish out with, again, either tricep extension. You can add in a bicep curl if you're interested in that. Maybe a calf raise. I think a calf raise would be good in this third and final superset. And then again, some core. I highly recommend you add a little bit of core, abs, trunk, whatever you want to call it, at the end of each and every workout, because we need to keep that core nice and strong. That's the key to your ability to stay strong and be strong. Okay? So the last thing is speed. And speed in season, I think you don't have to isolate and do a speed session on its own in season. What I encourage you to do is to, during your warm-up before practice, that is the time for you to be able to throw in some speed work. And as far as what you can be doing, I really think that doing 5 to 7 individual efforts of a 30-yard sprint is more than enough for you to maintain your speed in season, okay? Now, when it comes to speed training, this is a very important thing, and I want you to hear this. You need to rest and allow your body to recover 100%. If you rush your reps, when you're sprinting, you're not letting your body recharge to its 100% capacity. And when you do that, that means you're not going to be able to train your body to maximize its ability to generate speed. You're basically training at fatigue. So you run, you sprint hard, you go 100%, assume you don't rest long enough, you only recover, let's say, 80%. So the best effort you can give, because you didn't recover, is that 80%. Okay? And let's say you sprint, you give it all you got, but again, it's only 80%. You get back, you recover, but again, it's short, and now your body can only give 70% or 75% effort. Obviously, you're doing your best, but your body simply hasn't recovered. At that point, it's starting to turn into a conditioning session and not necessarily a speed and sprint effort. Okay, so very important. You need to give yourself a ton of rest, and a good place to start is if we're doing these 30-yard sprints, you want to rest roughly a minute to 90 seconds between efforts. And overall, in general, you just want to feel good. You want to feel like you're going to feel strong, you're going to feel explosive, you're going to feel fast going into every single one of your reps. Okay? So I know schedules are tough when you're in season, so just simply using your warm-up going into your practices, that's a great time for you to throw in some speed work. So that's a great way to work on your speed in season. So we're going to take a look at the squat and the deadlift to make sure you're doing those things correctly and optimizing your training time.